For the next presentation, I wanted to give a broad, detailed introduction, build it up, but I realized after I saw the presentation that I don't think that is necessary. This is a showcase with a capital S, and it's going to present to you like itself, and it's going to probably wow you like itself as well. So please, get ready, relax, sit back, and enjoy the show.
Every day, millions of tons of freight travel the world. Global trade has become the standard and continues to increase. We buy and sell online. No matter the product, it's all at our fingertips. It must all be packed in boxes, pallets and containers and shipped as seamlessly as possible without delays. This is a challenge because every country wants to ensure that what comes in is safe and secure. Import duties are paid and their competitive market position is protected. That's where we come in. Customs, that's our mission. The question is, can we keep up with the ever-changing trade flows? Yes, with the help of new technologies and more intensive collaboration, which enables us to see what seems invisible. We know the seller, the buyer, the shipper, and of course the content, and whether this is the same upon arrival. If not, we know as early as possible and more automatically, so we can intervene on time. Our goal for the near future is to strengthen our information position by creating a grip on all data and commodity streams using intelligent technologies to create insights everywhere, inside, anywhere.
Welcome, everybody.
Thank you for being with so many. By the way, I'm Heijmann.
And I'm Arno Kooij. But who's Frank? Well, let's see. Born in the southern part of the Netherlands, in Heijmann, on July 18, 1965, Frank started his career at a Netherlands customs 36 years ago, September 2nd, 1986. He is now head of the relations with the legal trade. He began as operational civil servant at the border between the Netherlands and Germany, very close from here. He is highly experienced in the international customs domain. By the way, his favorite animal is a deer.
And who's Arno? Let's see. He was born in Rotterdam on June 2nd, 1965. Yes, we're the same age. Arno has been working for the Netherlands Customs since the 1st of January 1987. Now is he Deputy Director General of the Netherlands Customs. He started in operations as a customs civil servant in the harbor of Rotterdam, and he truly has an international perspective. By the way, his favorite food is tallow, a typical dish from Suriname.
So, why are we here? We think changes are needed in the way we work as customs, because of the significant changes in the global flow of goods. New technologies offer new opportunities to maintain our duties and facilitate an undisturbed logistic process at the same time. Sorely needed because the increasing need for protection and the climate issue, we place great demands on customs. But the current custom formality system is no longer sufficient. The answer? An adaptive customs. Everything we will tell you is food for thought. There's no policy, there's no reality. There's just a scenario. Food for thought.
We see three possible changes. The first, there's a lot of regulation on the goods that cross the borders. One person in the customs territory should be responsible for all this legislation. Security, we check at the border because it involves the direct threats to the people, to the fauna, the flora, and the environment, like smuggling bombs, grenades, and drugs. But safety issues of products, for example, and rights, we check these, if possible, after the border, further up in the trade chain. So one size fits none. Taxes and duties, we will remove them from the border. Secondly, having the correct data on time is crucial in this. But we do not ask for more data than is strictly needed. We only ask for an access to external data sources to validate our own data quality. And the third, we will treat business to consumer differently from the business to business logistics. Actually, we want to decrease the international business to consumer flows by making the import more complex and more expensive, and we make the consumer handle the declaration and pay the tax settlement before the goods are being shipped. We simply need to reduce this flow, as even with the application of the best detection technology, it is simply not manageable considering its huge amounts. So we don't change the possibility for the consumer to order online. We only change the EU cross-border way of shipping. But at the same time, for business-to-business flows, we want to reduce the regulatory pressure. We shift the tax settlement beyond the border by using a system-based approach with periodic payment of taxes.
A couple of years ago, we've presented you with our long-term vision, pushing boundaries. The split of the flow of goods between trusted trade lanes, trusted traders, and remaining unknown. So this story is not entirely new for those who were there in 2015.
You will see that we build further on that vision, and we will show how this could look like in this scenario. And we do that based on the developments in time and trade, the shift to e-commerce and the developments in technology, and the enrichment of our risk assessment analysis with the auto-detection of data and of images. We call this pushing boundaries, the next steps.
Someone, somewhere, has placed an order for something. At that moment, there's data available about the seller, the shipper, and the buyer. And those data are immediately available to customs. The seller has received the order, puts it on a pallet, and arranges for a container to ship it. All relevant information is put in an EBL that travels with the pallet. Off we go. And now we wait. It's a long journey, full of unexpected incidents. For instance, an unusually long journey, because the container travels by truck and not by ship along the Panama Canal. Not a big problem because, with the known data, we can keep track of the cargo the whole time.
A business-to-business order is the most common trade flow. It's essential that we do not only have the knowledge of the goods, but also of the parties involved. We receive the electronic bill of lading data before departure in the country of origin. We enrich these data with data from external sources. In that way, we can decide what and how to check. It must be clear who is in control of this whole flow. We want one person in the destination country to be fully responsible for all legal obligations of the shipment. But also necessary, we have to take off the pressure of the border control. Taxation can be done later, beyond the border, system-based. For example, once a month at the importer. Mainly because many elements that are needed for taxation, like value for customs or origin, are hardly recognizable at the product itself. And this also goes for non-fiscal based safety checks. Safety of product, for example, can be checked in the trade flow after the import. So at the border, we only control, we only check what is strictly needed. Security. Now let's see how this works out in a business-to-consumer order.
Again, someone, somewhere is placing an online order for something. At that moment, there are data available on the seller, the product, the price, and the buyer. And if the buyer not only pays for the item but also the VAT and custom duties, all data are also known to customs. This information is securely stored in a blockchain and connected to the item, invisible to third parties. And now, this buyer also waits.
The business-to-consumer trade flow is something we want to treat differently, at least in our food for thought scenario. First of all, we want to reduce this flow because whatever method of customs treatment we apply, as said, it is not doable to check millions of packages, not even with the most modern means. Last year, we even had 375 million parcels of e-commerce, and not even with the most modern means it's manageable. By raising the import duties, we can reduce the flow by making it more expensive than the B2B flow. The effect will be that many of these packages will shift to the B2B flow. As said, the consumer can still order online, but the goods will be shipped from an inland location after the business-to-business import. And what remains is a residual flow, and here we do have to reduce the formalities at the border to relieve customs organizations. And this can be done by having the consumer file his declaration online when purchasing actually his package on the internet. For this, we reuse the data from his internet purchase and we make him pay immediately. But for that, the duty and the VAT rates must be substantially simplified so it can be calculated automatically on the data of his internet order. And control? We do this with intelligent technology, whereby we automatically remove high-risk shipments from the trade flows with automated analysis of images. But what do we mean in our scenario by the smarter use of external data and the introduction of auto-detection of data and images? The declaration data is the entrepreneur's security declaration. That declaration only contains a few data which is key for customs to tap into other sources. For business to consumer, this is the declaration that the consumer has made online when he ordered his package in advance. The information that customs really needs is the sender, it's the consignee who is at the same time that single responsible person for the shipment, it's the location of the goods, the trade description of the goods, the weight, the carrier, the last origin of the goods, and a commercial reference number, such like a bill of lading. We link these internal data with external data sources, automated, and the machine determines itself whether there are any anomalies. We also do this with automated image recognition. Large quantities of packages and containers pass through the machines, and the automated image recognition determines whether there are any anomalies from the available data or detects dangerous goods in the shipment. The machine, therefore, already absorbs many of the risks, and not every shipment needs to be physically checked to judge whether it is safe or compliant. And the machine determines when customs actually should intervene.
Now, it may be hard for you to imagine how this new approach with data analytics and auto-detection technologies will look in reality. Therefore, let's look at an example from everyday life, traffic controls. How can this work out with the smart use of innovative technological means?
Here we are, on a not-so-busy road. A road that invites one to drive fast, too fast. This asks for active speed control. It's an important task, and although the police officers only gave 2 speeding tickets, it was worth it. Goal achieved, no accidents. Different locations, different approaches. In a dense traffic area, automatic speed control might be the right solution. It generates not only speeding tickets, but also a lot of data without disrupting the traffic flow, with the help of intelligent technology.
So what you have seen here is what the deployment of technology can do without disrupting the traffic, controlling everything imaginable. Not only the speed, but also whether the car is insured and inspected, and whether the driver has a valid driver's license, without the vehicle having to stop. The fine automatically falls on the doormat. You have seen that the motorcycle police officer achieved the same with other, much less high-tech, innovative means. He uses a laser gun, checks each car individually, and ultimately reaches the same with its interventions. The speed is no longer exceeded. In one place, anyone who drives too fast will be stopped. In the other place, no one is stopped. Yet everyone is being checked and ticketed. This high-tech deployment is appropriate at busy junctions, such as Frankfurt, Paris, Antwerp, and Rotterdam. But in other places, physically checking parcels can be just as effective. We could therefore not compare our performance based on the number of scanned or physically opened packages, because then we will never do justice to our efforts. One size fits none. It's about the effect you achieve. Looking back at Speed Trap, in both cases, the result has been achieved, but by entirely different means, but aimed at the same goal.
Back to our e-commerce order. The seller engaged a courier to pick it up and they ship it to the buyer. All data are scanned and sent to that country's customs office. All clear.
Wait. Suppose the content is wrong. Suppose there's something different in it than expected, or that the buyer is on fence list. This can therefore be detected automatically. Custom immediately takes action. The package is removed and the single liable person is approached. Very efficient and therefore enforcement in the logistic flow without hampering logistics. Anyway, let's assume for now that the package is in order after all.
Yes, let's do that. Our package is shipped, arrives at its destination, is cleared automatically, and is free to be delivered to its destination country.
We have seen how customs can check e-commerce in the business-to-consumer flow, just like in traffic. Based on the correct data, with the auto-detection of data and images, without having to cause any delays for the legitimate trade flows. We use the technology appropriate for the logistic intensity of where the goods enter or leave. And the better we become at this, the more effective and efficient our enforcement becomes. Let's look at the business-to-business order from Albert Veenstra. This pallet has already come a long way. We already had some question marks along the way, but they have been solved automatically. But that could have turned out differently. Suppose that the data analysis showed that a shipper appeared to be suspicious because the value on previous declarations did not match with the invoice for a shipment. In any case, we contact the single liable person, the one who ordered the shipment, the importer. Or the entire ship is suspicious after an automatically generated tip from colleagues. This means inspection of the ship above and below the surface. Or on arrival, the container turns out to be suspicious after a scan. It's time for further checking. Layered enforcement entails that we have to use all possible means for control depending on the circumstances, wherein even the traditional detection dogs should not be missing. Be surprised on an innovative approach, of which demos will be given at the exhibition during this event. Fortunately, suspicion was not the case with our mission. Everything was in order and ready to be delivered to the patiently waiting customer. And so customs can release the shipments. Clearance for taxation in the business-to-business flow, that will be done at a later stage.
Now what we've showed you is a possible scenario. There's no policy, no reality. Just in summary, we hold one person liable for both tax and non-tax obligations for entire commercial chain. This is the consumer or the entrepreneur in the European Union where the goods go. We appoint a single liable person for all cross-border customs obligations, in line with many developments in international trade that put greater responsibilities on the European companies. Just look at the new rules to combat illegal deforestation, increasing the responsibility for importers for environmental aspects concerning their flow of goods. Then it is also appropriate to make dispersable responsible for the custom aspects and the non-tax rules that apply in importing goods. We make a clear distinction between treating and controlling business to business versus business to consumer. We allow businesses to pay after importation. In this way, we can remove the tax system from the border and put it in a place that does more justice to facilitate the trade and can be controlled more effectively by customs. But we let consumers pay the taxes online before the import of the taxes, of the import of the packages, based on the information from the source, the website they ordered from.
And we make more use of external information. A single version of the truth is the information that the trade itself uses. Asking for the correct information for the proper application is more is not always better. We check only what is necessary at the border. We contribute to the protection of society by preventing the direct threats to humans, to animals, to plants, and to the environment. We do that directly at the border. What is not required at the border, such as controlling economic risks on trade shipments, can be done later in the chain with that one liable person. And where possible, effectively and efficiently, we must deploy high technical controls for auto detection. But that does not have to be the same equipment everywhere. We must look carefully which technology can be used most efficiently, when and where. Sometimes opening a package is a better check, but an automated scanning can be more beneficial in other places. Again, one size fits none.
So the custom of the future in this scenario, we have information from the source. We track shipments worldwide and collect all relevant information from our analysis by looking inside anywhere. Of course, this new way of working will have an impact on our staff. During this transformation, they will be provided with explanation, education, and additional training as well. We redesign our work processes and make sure their work becomes even more interesting than before. With that, we collect a clear picture of the trade flows and the associated risk. So, inside anywhere,
Insights everywhere.
Hey Frank, waar blijft het boek nou? Frank?
Frank? Hey, Frank, waar blijft mijn boek eigenlijk?
Oh, they're calling actually for the orders, the business-to-business order and the business-to-consumer order, and I see something coming there. There is the e-commerce order, thank you very much. And there we see suddenly coming the business-to-business order. And let's see. Oh, it's the book. John, it's the book we wrote during the past 2 years. Thank you very much. And Albert, thank you for your scientific editing. And Nanette, thank you for the support in the production of this book, and also Cuneo and Gerasimos and Nanette for the foreword. Well, we have told that much more information about customs is written down in this book. The development of customs enforcement on a global level with the perspective of the Netherlands customs as a best practice. And a possible future of customs processes, procedures, and enforcement with the smart use of technology. Customs, inside anywhere, insights everywhere. Arno, may I hand you this book?
Thank you, Frank. Thank you. The Netherlands Customs is pleased and proud that they've been taken as an example for describing the development of customs enforcement. As guests of this particular fascinating conference, you will receive this book as a gift from Customs of Netherlands. As a thank you for being here and an inspiration for us to work together on the path of smarter use of data by customs in response to the changing landscape of global trade. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get one more applause for Frank Heijmann, Arno Kooij, and the whole team that made that presentation possible? Thank you, gentlemen.